Hey guys, so today I'm just going to be doing hopefully a quick review on Alma. I don't want to get too in-depth into Alma as you guys already have her, so a lot of people should already understand how she functions in Global, specifically with how her kit functions. But today I'm going to be going over mostly her future in Japan, the fact that she has Gate 5 in Japan, and also some of the different gear we have in Japan that might benefit her. And I'll also just hop into the map and show off some of her VCR skills, just so you guys can see them, because otherwise you guys do have access to this unit already, so you don't need me. At least not for everything anyways. So, how exactly do you want to raise her? Well, I think the only dud coming from Alma is on her leader skill. I just do not think it's necessary. Strike damage, the only other strike unit in Lust that I can even think of is Moa. And honestly, Moa just has a better leader skill, so just use Moa as your leader instead. There's really no reason to run Alma as your leader skill unless you're looking to buff up her own damage and Moa's and just forsaking the rest of your party. So I'd skip out on the leader skill. Everything else should be maxed. I do think her Gate 2 is very important. 25% magic attack is a big deal. It's probably going to get you more magic attack than Gate 1 is, but naturally you should go back and max Gate 1 as well. Gate 5 is also going to be extremely important as it's going to make her charge up a 5 times charge up instead of a 3 times charge up. And, well, you guys could do basic math. 5 is obviously greater than 3. Last gate you should max is probably going to be Gate 4. It's not that Gate 4 is bad, it's just that it's expensive to max and it's just not as cost efficient as the other gates are. You can skip this gate if you want. I wouldn't necessarily say it's mandatory unless you want to see her at her maximum potential. Remember that Alma is very difficult to get. The easiest way to get her shards is to straight up buy them from the shop, or if you have a frag banner, to pull a frag banner. Unfortunately, frag banners are not a thing anymore in Japan, and they might not be a thing forever in Global, so do keep that in mind. Otherwise, we do have an EX hard quest for Alma, which is 1 shard a day and 2 shards when it's double drop, and as I'm sure you can imagine, that is not nearly enough. So you do have a new Nance that'll be coming up soon, and it's going to give you access to the swimsuit skin. As I'm sure most of you have noticed, this is basically just a purple version of Liz's swimsuit skin. It's nothing super special. The Nance is a limited Nance, but we did receive 1 free copy of it in Japan if we completed a certain panel. So hopefully Global does get that panel and you get the 1 free copy. The Nance itself, I'm not going to go over her standard Nance as you guys should already know what that does, but her limited swimsuit Nance, it's more of a defensive oriented Nance, to be honest. It's going to give you HP as your main group skill, and it's going to give you like resistances and accuracy and stuff, as well as I believe just light damage on the other group skill. And that, yeah, it's a little bit of extra damage, but you get more strike damage from her regular Nance than you're going to get light damage from this Nance. You run this Nance only if you want to run defensively, and even then, the other Nance is just better, and you're guaranteed to have her normal Nance if you have Alma, because you obviously can't have Alma without this Nance. As for her gear, so I don't have any HP gear up, and that's not normal. You should be running HP gear on Alma, but I wanted to just quick show off the gear that she's going to be running, or at least some of the gear she might be running. So obviously you're going to run her VCR. I'm not going to go through the stats, as you should already know what they are, but that is hands down the best glove for her. This is her second VCR, and it's going to give you 30 joules and 5 joule regen. The other stats are kind of insignificant. 5 joule regen is a big deal. Remember that melee units often are going to need to gather joules. They're not like ranged units where they can gather joules from far away. They're going to have to get up close, so the more effective your joule collecting is, the less you're going to have to gather joules, the better your tempo, the more stuff you're going to be able to do in a map. At least for Global, this is going to be a best-in-slot item most likely, unless you get some kind of crazy Global exclusive item that will outperform it, which I highly doubt. Just quick going over general HP gear. Obviously, any kind of regen gear is going to be top tier on her. Any kind of high HP gear like the Tamamo VCR is also going to be good, like on maps that you don't need to heal for. Some other things you might want to think about. She is a strike unit, so getting some kind of like speed and strike item. Well, I guess she doesn't even need that because she has speed off of her VCR. But any kind of strike gear is going to give her extra damage modifier, which is never a bad thing. I don't necessarily think it's like super necessary, but it is an idea. Another idea is for HP gear. We do have access to the red Nina doll. And that's going to give you 390 HP and 10 dark exploit, so you'll be able to do extra damage to dark enemies with light attacks. And fortunately, she was given a light kit by Gumi, and she wasn't screwed by giving a kit that doesn't match her element. Any kind of damage reduction gear, like the Fujiga VCR, is always going to be by the map. And that's pretty much it for my other gear suggestions, except for this one. And we have all seen this before. I have talked this item up as a great item, and what I have to say is, in my original video, when I did some theory crafting with this item, I was wrong. This item isn't just good, it's completely freaking broken. Let me explain. So, you get 5 jewel regen from her bracelet VCR, right? Well, this gives you 40 extra jewel gain. So how many turns do I have to pass with Alma before getting 1 strike with this item is going to give you? 8. And if you assume that there's a turn lost, it's 7. So effectively, you gain like 7 turns just by hitting 7 turns worth of jewel regen jewels from the regular VCR off of 1 normal attack on an enemy with this piece of gear. I am going to be running this piece of gear most likely instead of her bracelet VCR in Japan, as well as along with an HP gear, unless I'm on a map where I can get away without HP gear, and obviously I'll run the VCR. But I do really, really like the raid pouch on her. This is an insane piece of gear. Now, this is probably not going to coming to global anytime soon, or ever for that matter. We're going to have to see if you guys actually do end up getting the Macross collab. But if you do, get as many of these things as you can. No joke. Just get as many as you can. They are nuts good. I find myself putting them on almost any unit that I can fit it on, because the 40 jewel gain, the amount of tempo you get for 40 extra jewel gain is insane. It's really hard to describe just how absolutely broken it is. So let's switch back to her normal outfit, because I do like her normal outfit more than I like her swimsuit. I will point out that Light Chrono is an underserved, rather that's Fiona's the only other Light Chrono I'm aware of, so I'd rather run Alma than Fiona, because Alma can actually survive. If for some reason you needed a Light Chrono, that is an obvious plus. Also, with her reactive, you're going to want to run either her main or unique reactive, or her assassin reactive. And the main difference is, if I remember correctly, her unique reactive is if you're fighting a bunch of magic damage. Otherwise, you're going to want to run assassin. Alma's kit is highly based around count manipulation, and she can go really fast because of that. She has a TP that ups her count, and if she gets hit and then her assassin reactive procs, well, it's already her turn again. She can get a lot of turns in this way, which is also super nice. So let's quick hop into a map and just show off her VCR skills, just so that way you guys can see them. Like I said before, you guys already have this unit, so you already know mostly what she's capable of. The reason that this video was delayed so much is because, one, I only got Alma pretty recently. Now, if you, if you got your Alma and you already ran the quests, then I highly suggest hanging on to her shards and not raising her until you can light frag her the entire way to 85 and then use the shards that you got from her quests only on her Kaigen. Getting her shards afterwards is a real pain. And it's gonna suck waiting, but it's gonna be worth the wait. I'm just gonna tell you right now, that is easily the most effective way to Kaigen her. Getting an extra like 150 or so shards into her Kaigen for free, there's nothing you could really ask for an EX hard quest character more than that. I wish Soul got 150 frags for free, but only Alma does. Alma, Dawn, and Mocha. So I forget which one's which. The 35 Joule light charge up is up from her main glove. So I guess I'll just showcase them both. Let me turn speed up off real quick. Okay, so that actually was the swimsuit Nance right there. Nothing like super big to write home about. I feel like they haven't done a ton of like really big animated vision abilities recently. And we'll just quick show off the other one here, just for good measure. And maybe I'll blow a couple more skills too. And just as I say that, she uses a big animated skill. I guess this is an older Nance though. And actually, there is one more skill I can show off to you guys now that I think about it, because I don't think you guys have it. So recently, you guys have been getting Babble Tactics, and I don't know if you were given Alma's Babble Tactics right away, but this is what it is. And I can't use it right now because Cheryl is going to smack me, because Cheryl is an awful person to be testing with Alma to use this skill. So Cheryl has a 50% chance of knocking back on her reactive, which is why it's so bad. Here it is. It's not going to proc this time. So she just punches your unit, they move forward, and they get 30 count up. It's a nice little thing as it lets you reposition your units, which isn't that bad of a thing to begin with. But it's also going to do count up, so that way your turn comes again sooner. Now, Alma's going to be capable of hitting like somewhere between 40 and 50k pretty easily without too much effort. Just some basic charge ups are going to be all she really needs to hit that kind of damage. So she's really good as a magic charge up nuker. But I'd say in general, while she does boast a relatively good kit, she's not going to be as versatile on a map as a unit like Moa after her job plus. But she's still a really good unit to have on hand. She's very, very capable. The biggest problem with Alma comes with Kaigening her. She is a pain to Kaigen, unless you wail. I, fortunately, because there's nothing else for me to pull on, I was able to afford to buy some of her frags from the shops when they were here. And, so I did manage to get her up as high as I did. I plan on just hard farming the rest of these through her EX hard quest unless I get lucky on some frag pull or something. That's really all there is to it. It's one per day, and I currently have 7. Now she is on double drop for today through Wednesday, so I'll get like 6 more or something. But then after that, I'm gonna have to farm just 1 per day, and it's what? It's 90, so 75 days to max her gate 4. And then probably like an additional like 2 weeks to finish maxing her gate 1. And then 15 days to get her gate 3 up to 3. And that's probably where I'm going to stop with her. So I'm going to spend like the next half a year or so just farming Alma. One frag per day. It's unfortunate, but it's just kind of the way things are right now. Who knows, maybe one day it'll change for the better, but not anytime soon. Should you pull for Alma? Well, your global peers are probably going to be your best bet to ask this, as some of them have been able to see Alma perform in their meta for a while. I think Alma is a good unit. I do not think she is a necessary unit. She is obviously very good, but she does suffer from a couple of things, namely being a Nance unit. All Nance units suffer from being Nance units, making them incredibly difficult to get their shards. So that's really all I have to say on Alma for today. Yeah, I know it's not quite what you guys were probably hoping for or expecting, but haven't really had a lot of time to play with Alma's kit, as she's even relatively new for me because I only recently got her. So that's all I really have to say for now. Thanks for watching as always. Just a quick update. So the swimsuit season is upon us. We will be getting Kaya and Sharon swimsuit, and it looks like Shenmei will be getting a job plus. I already did his video on Shenmei, but you guys will be getting another one with her new job plus from the looks of it. And I really do hope it's good, as Shenmei is the first unit that I pulled, like, for real in global outside of my initial pull, which I actually got checking in. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. As many of you know, Sharon is my mascot character and one of my favorite design characters in the entire game. So you're gonna see me painfully pull for this. You're gonna see my gems just fall off a cliff on Wednesday or Thursday. I have to double check exactly when the patch is, because just the way the time zones work, Japan is like slightly over half a day ahead of us. So thanks for watching as always, and I'll see you next time.